Love to hear the story there with your current company. I'm also just interested from the perspective of, our company does trading. We have a natural gas marketing, crude oil marketing business where we trade the product, and we do that on behalf of our clients. We don't trade power, and so I don't know what your guys' platform is, if it's for just power trading or if it's natural gas, but would love to hear about what you're doing there and talk about the journey, because that's just something that always fascinates me, hearing these startup stories.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've spent my career doing startups. I've worked in in telecommunications and in other technology companies. Did a bunch of Silicon Valley kind of companies, taking them to exit, where we either took them public or sold them, or did other strategies like that. A number of years back, my colleague was running the PwC energy practice out of Switzerland for Europe. And he called me up and he said, "Hey, I've got this great idea for a startup. And basically, for energy traders, they're still doing all this manual process and stuff in post trade. Same in North America, same in Asia, and same in Europe." And he goes, "I'd like to solve that problem." Now, I'm a technologist by nature. I really like doing technology. So at first, it was a little bit of a yawn. I was doing a spin out from a company from Cisco Networks at the time. And I'm like, "Oh, I'll take a look at it." I took a week's vacation, went over and met some of the largest energy traders in Europe and said, "Tell me about this problem, help me understand it. And if we built a product, would you want it?" And all said yes. So 3 months later, we raised our first seed round and we had a prototype built and we had customers on board. And by the end of the first year, we had a commercial product for power and gas in Europe. And then, as I'd said, that the solution now, the reason you're talking to me from Houston today, is we do North American gas settlement. That's a problem statement. There's about 20 days of float that people have, and there was a company trying to do it, and there's a blockchain effort underway to try to do it. But we have a solution that works today. So we're working with North American gas traders saying, "Hey, if you want to do your settlement and have it be efficient, if you want to do your confirmations and other elements, we can help you with that."
That's really interesting. So the specifics of it are, walk people that may not know.
Sure.
I mean, I live in that world, but talk about these problems that you guys are trying to solve or that you are solving,
Well,
and
I'll
give
talk
a little
about your
bit more of the.
entrepreneurial question, but I'll answer the problem we solve first, and I'll go back into maybe a little bit more about forming the
Sure.
company. So basically, what happened is, in energy trading, whether it be natural gas, whether it be crude, or whatever commodity it is, of the type of electrons, whatever we're doing, there's a front office that does a lot of the sexy stuff, and they got great software, and they do trading and stuff, and risk management, and all those components. But once a deal's done, you need to confirm that the terms are aligned across all the parties. So there's some software that does that. There's ETRM software and other risk management platforms out there. And it kind of helps you manage the risk. And then you go to the confirmation piece, and a lot of that was still manual, but some is software. And then after that, you go to settlement. So I deliver whatever the commodity is. I deliver the gas through the pipeline. I deliver the electricity, whatever it is. And at that point, I need to do some post-trade things. So basically, you get something like an invoice, a legal document that says, "Here's your invoice." And on the other side of the deal, your counterparty has a shadow invoice or a purchase order, and they're expecting. So, did it go through this pipeline? Did it come out? And did I have loss? Did I have all these things? And we have to agree to all those terms, just like you would reconcile your Visa bill at the end of the month. You make sure that what's on your bill is what you did. Energy companies do that. And it's still a very manual process. Now, depending on where you are, so if you're in North America, you follow standard contracts, it takes about 20 days to settle. Now, that doesn't seem like a big deal until you realize that cash flows between energy companies can be billions of dollars a month. And so when you start looking at the economies and say, okay, well, when gas is tight or money is tight, I'd rather have liquidity and have that cash working for me. But I'm not willing to go back and rewrite all my contracts because, God, that would take forever and be hard. So how do I do things automated instead of using manual spreadsheets and things like that to go do that process? And that's what we do. That's what we bring to market to make that much simpler and much quicker, and get your liquidity working for you, reduces your credit risk because you have less exposure, and it improves automation. So now you have a straight through processing. So all things that are extremely important.